Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to share with you some really simple and easy New Year's Eve appetizers. So if you want to see what I've came up with, then please keep watching. Alright, first up is our French dip roast beef pinwheels. Now these look really intricate, but they are so easy. So first thing we're going to do is flour our cutting board, and then we're going to lay out our puff pastry sheets. This box did come with 2. It did make quite a lot, so if you have a smaller party or smaller amount of people, you just need to make 1. But here I am spreading them out. And then off camera, I went ahead and caramelized our onions. I used 1 large yellow onion. In hindsight, I definitely would add more, considering I made 2 of these rolls because I just love onions, and these were delicious. Now we're going to take some roast beef, any kind you like, deli kind, the pre-cut kind, doesn't matter, and then some provolone cheese. And you're going to go ahead and layer that. Now you can always add some mustard to this if you want more of a tang. These were definitely more sweet because of the caramelized onions, but it's completely up to you. They weren't dry at all considering you use the au jus sauce. So now we're just going to roll it up. Don't worry, it doesn't need to be perfect. I did try to get it as tight as possible. You'll see in a little bit I do go back and fix them because they do come undone. Just make sure you use a really sharp knife when you cut these, because if you don't, it will just smush and just make a mess. It won't stay nice and pretty like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these and place them on a parchment paper. But first we are going to put some egg wash on there just to get them nice and golden brown. I did do the tops and some of the sides, but it doesn't really matter. They do brown up really nice with that puff pastry. Now we're going to stick them in the oven. Took about 10-15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depends on your oven. While that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and make our au jus. Now I am just using some beef broth, some Worcestershire sauce, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. If you have the au jus gravy mix, go ahead and use that. It will definitely add a little bit more flavor. Not that this was bland, but it'll make it more of a gravy. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that all together, and then I'm going to bring it to a boil on the stove, and your dipping juice au jus is done. I'm going to go ahead and set that to the side while we wait for our pinwheels to finish. Here they are, beautifully brown. I did put them under the broiler for about 5 minutes just to get the tops really brown and gooey. These were absolutely delicious, probably my favorite by far. Now just for garnish, I'm going to add some chopped up rosemary to the top of these just to make it look pretty and festive. And then after that, we're just going to add our au jus right into the center of that bowl there, and this one is all done. Alright, next up is our Texas Roadhouse Rattlesnake Bites. These are so good. Very spicy though, so keep that in mind. I am going to take about 2 cups of pepper jack, 2 cups of sharp cheddar, and then I'm going to add these jalapenos. Now I went ahead and cut up and cooked these jalapenos because you don't want them to have that bite to them. You want them to be a little bit soft. So I went ahead and mixed it all up there, and then you're going to kind of squish them into a ball, as you can see here. The warmer the cheese, the better it will hold. Now you can always put an egg in here if you really are worried about it falling apart. My cheese was nice and warm, so I didn't have that issue. But I did put them in the freezer for about a half hour just to make sure they were nice and rock hard. As you can see here, I can drop them and they don't fall apart, just to make the dredging process easier. Say those words, go ahead, just shout. So now we're going to start our dredging process. I've got some seasoned breadcrumbs with all kinds of seasoning. I will link the exact recipe down below so you guys can follow along. We've got some buttermilk and some eggs, and then just plain flour. So we're going to start dipping in the flour, then the egg wash, and then the breadcrumbs. Now again, these are spicy. I did put some Slap Your Mama in there, so you definitely have a good bite. But you're going to go ahead and do this process twice. You're going to double bread them, and then I fry them off camera. So I did it in 2 small batches. Didn't want to overload the pan. We've been playing his And then I set them on a paper towel just to drain off that excess grease, and then we're going to go ahead and plate them up. These were very, very tasty. Taste just like the Texas Roadhouse ones. And then I put some hot honey ranch sauce in there, and these were so good. All right, so next up is our mini loaded baked potatoes. These are so good and bite-sized, really fun. I took these little Yukon Gold mini baby potatoes. I put them in the oven for about a half hour, flipped them halfway through, salted the outside, covered them in olive oil, just like you would a baked potato. Here I'm just showing you our toppings. You can put anything you like. I have some bacon, some chives, some green onions, some sharp cheddar, some garlic and chive butter, and then of course some sour cream. Here I'm just showing you I split them in half, added some of that butter, then I stuck them back in the oven just to melt the butter, and then we're going to start stuffing these. Now I did not cut the potato all the way through, so keep that in mind, otherwise it's just going to be two halves, so just be very gentle when you stuff your potatoes. I'm putting the cheese first, and then I'll put some bacon, and the sour cream, and then the chives, and these were really, really yummy. If you love baked potatoes, you're going to love these.
Silent treatment, is this what it feels like? If it's so bad to say it out loud, say those words, go ahead, just shout it out. Just be honest, be a
Now, a little pro tip here, I put some sour cream in a Ziploc bag. If you don't have a piping bag, this works wonderful. Added just the right amount of sour cream. Then we'll add our finishing touch. We've got the chives that we'll put on top. And then I add a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. These were already salted, but feel free to add more salt if you like yours a little bit more salty. I did, rub these potatoes with olive oil and salt before I baked them. So they do have some good flavor as it is, but this is all up to you and your preference. All right, now we're just going to plate them. I did serve them with some garlic ranch or garlic aioli. I decided to do that last minute. You can serve these with skewers or like little mini forks if you want to use the dipping sauce, because they will definitely fall apart if you put it straight in the dipping sauce. So you need some kind of, something to hold it with. So here they are. And again, you can make as many or as little as you would like, however many you need. All right, next up is our BBQ sausage skewers. These are basically like kielbasa skewers. It's kind of a twist on the little smokies. So I went ahead and cut up one beef kielbasa. You can add two. I split the recipe in half. And then I'm gonna need 1 cup of barbecue sauce of choice, whichever one you like. I've got some really good French mustard in here, some Dijon mustard, and then about 1/4 of a cup, maybe 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. So you're just gonna mix all that together. Pop it in the oven at 350. These did cook for about 40 to 45 minutes. You just want to wait till that sauce gets nice and browned and your sausages get heated through. Now I decided last minute, instead of serving it like this in a big sloppy container, I decided to put them on skewers. So it is really hot. In hindsight, I would wait to put them on skewers when it cooled down, but I did want to serve it warm. So I went ahead and took the skewers and very carefully stuck it through each sausage. I did about 3 little sausage links, and then I spread them around the plate. It just looks really nice for presentation purposes. And then I didn't waste that delicious sauce, so I went ahead and scooped it up and put it in the center for dipping if you wanted more sauce. And this was absolutely delicious. If you love little smokies, this will be right up your alley. Last and final touch is always the garnish. I did add some green onions to the center of the dip as well as around. I always like to bring some green to the plate. It definitely brings out some really nice color. All right, last but not least is our smoked salmon crostinis. These are really, really good. I did take a little French loaf I got from Walmart that was pre-sliced. These are a little bit larger, so I did try to get the smallest slices that I could. And then I put a little bit of olive oil on each round, and then I spread it so that these will get nice and crispy in the oven. I popped it in the oven for about 350 for about 10 minutes just to get them nice and crispy and golden on the bottom. And then once you've done that, it's time to assemble. So I went ahead and put them on our serving platter. These are nice and cooled off. And now we're gonna add our chive and onion cream cheese. You can do any kind of cream cheese. You can do Boursin, or you could just do plain cream cheese if you don't like flavored cream cheese. The options are truly endless with this one, but the chive and onion really goes well with the onion, capers, and the salmon. So I'm just spreading the cream cheese over all of the bread. So here I am taking out my salmon. Now they did come like stacked on top of each other. There's like 3 or 4 sheets of salmon, but they're really, really thin. So keep that in mind. I was trying to separate it here. I did end up getting 2 packages of salmon, but I only used 1. All right, now that that's done, we're gonna add our thinly sliced red onion to the rest. This gives it a nice crispy crunch that's sweet. I really like adding salmon and red onion together. Now you can completely omit this if you do not like capers. I love them. I love that salty, briny taste. So I'm going to go ahead and add those to the top of each of these crostinis. This is optional, but to me, everything bagel seasoning goes on everything. It's delicious on everything. So I put a little bit on top there and then topped it with some green onions. And this one is done. This one was so good, very fresh, very light, and very sophisticated without being complicated. Alright guys, that is all the appetizer ideas that I have for you today. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. I wish you all health and happiness in this beautiful new year to come. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, if you guys give these a go. Let me know which one is your favorite. I'm always curious of what you guys think. You guys tend to like these videos, so I love putting them out for you. These ones were very easy to do. It took me about an hour, hour and a half with all the prep, so it's not too bad. And these are definitely crowd pleasing. They'll please everybody. Everybody will like at least something. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.
I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay